Now, normally we have DJ, but it says DJ's out getting his security current what do they call that? Continuing ed. I have my man Zishan as my co-host today. What's up, dude?
Hello, hello.
How are you?
I'm the non-black co-host here.
That's right. That's right. Diversity.
Diversity.
Yeah. So we traded a black guy for an Indian guy.
I know.
Yeah.
Got to keep the diversity at the
I
same
think
level.
that must be racist.
Kind
at some level.
That's all of us are here.
Yeah. Yeah, of course.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. So if people want to email in the questions, where do they email them?
Ask Andy at andyfrisella.com.
All right. Now, guys, if this is your first time listening, we have Q&AF. This is where we take the problems from our other episode called Cruise the Internet that we point out in society, and we break them down to actual productive solutions that you can implement into your life. So that's what we do today. So we have CTI, which is Cruise the Internet, where we make fun of everything and talk about what the problem is. Then we have Q&AF, where we help you guys get better, because the ultimate solution is our own personal development to all of this shit going on. Then sometimes we have Real Talk, which is where I get on and I give you 10, 20 minutes of good thoughts. Sometimes it's 2 minutes. That's just the way it is sometimes, you know what I'm saying? And then other times we have Full Length, which is I bring on my successful ass-kicking friends, and we talk about how they kick so much ass and how you can kick some ass too. So that's the run of the show. And we do have a fee, and the fee is very simple. We don't run ads on the show. We don't run ads for the show, but we grow this show completely off word of mouth. So if you like the show, if it made you think, if it gave you some information, if it made you laugh, if it entertained you, if it was worth listening to in any regard, please share the show. You don't have to share it on social media, but at least tell someone about it. Say, hey, man, give this a listen. This is some good stuff, because we're trying to change things here and we're trying to make people better, and we need your help to do so. So that's the fee. So what's happening, bro?
I got 3 good ones for you.
You do? All right.
Maintaining the tradition
That's
here.
right. That's right. Stay on track. All right, let's get started, man.
Question number 1. I own a power washing business, and as I hire more employees to handle more customers, I notice that their quality of work is not as good as I want them to be, and it affects the business as a whole. So when you're growing your business and you're growing yourself, how do you get your team to operate at the same standard that you do?
Okay. Very good question. First of all, it is very, very important to audit your own standard for the real standard that you're living. Because a lot of times, and even I do this sometimes, we tell ourselves we're doing a very good job when in reality we're doing 80% or 70% of what we could do. So the first thing that we have to do is we have to assess ourselves. We have to say, okay, am I really being a leader? Am I really living to the standard? Am I really doing what I'm asking them to do? Because the truth of leadership is this: you could tell people all you want, but they're going to do what you do. And that's the truth. So if they're not living to your standard, I would say the chances are you're probably not living quite to the standard as well, and they're picking up on that. And that can be and what I need you guys to understand is that the amount of slack that can throw an entire team off standard is very small. Okay. If they see you cut any sort of corner, if they see you, you power wash the whole deck and you miss a 4x4 square on the corner, they're going to notice that, right? And they're going to adopt that as the standard, even if you're saying, we do everything perfect and it's perfect all the time. So the first thing is to audit yourself. Now, if you audit yourself and you feel like you are doing everything to standard 100% of the time, that's when you have to start educating people on why it matters that they live to that standard as well, because the collective good and solving the problem is actually good for the individual good, and when you're working as a team. And what I mean by that is this: if they understand that when they go do a power washing job, that when it's perfect, it gets us other jobs, which offers them more money, which maintains the standard of growth in the company, and that will increase their position in the company and their ability to lead and their importance and their credibility and their pay. Now you're taking a situation from telling someone to do something to a standard and inspiring them to do it on their own. And there's a big difference, right?
Absolutely.
People are much more likely to follow their own inspiration than they are to follow directions from a leader. So your job is to create a vision within your power washing company that we're going to become such a great power washing company. We're going to do things like nobody else has ever done. And when we get there, you guys who are at the beginning right now, you're going to be the guys running this. So it's very important that we all, maintain the standards so that we can all grow together. And then you have to back that up. So a lot of people will say those kinds of things and then never back them up, right? And then what that does is that makes the team lose trust in the owner or the CEO or the operator. And then after that, when they lose trust in you, it's really hard to get that back. So the important thing is to try to cut it off by living to the standard 100% that you can. The second step is to pull them in and consistently communicate with them how important it is that they finish at the standard because of what it means to their life down the road. Because the truth of the matter is most people show up to work, they want to put their time in, they want to get paid, and they want to naturally progress just for being there for a long time.
Yes.
That's just not how it works. Okay. It's not reality. So your job as the leader is not just to dictate the jobs, but also to get them think about their future and how today relates to what their life is going to look like 5 years from now. Because the truth of the matter is, guys, this is how life works. You trade a day of struggle today for a day of prosperity down the road. That's what it is. All right. And if you can get people to understand that when you make an investment of intentional struggle today to improve, that you have an easier time, whether it be 90 days from now or a year from now or 5 years from now, that can help people realize how important it is to execute the day. And I think those three things, and then, making sure that you live up to what you promise. You have to actually grow the company. You have to actually work to create what it is you're promising, because if you don't do that, they won't trust you, and then they won't work at all.
I feel like that's what happens most of the time. People think that they have a position and that everybody should listen to them just because they have the position.
Sure. Yeah, for sure. Leadership is not a label, dude. Leadership is a skill that you execute, and
you always say it. It's a 360. You lead from the front, back, left, and from. You say this all the time.
That's right.
No matter what position you're in, you're leading everybody at all times. You just don't realize it.
Yeah, because people are watching. And so you are either leading people to be better or you are leading people to be worse. And the reason people lead people to be worse isn't because they want people to be worse. It's because they misunderstand their own value, and they don't understand that even if you're someone right now who is, struggling in life, there's still people that look at you
Correct.
For leadership. And they might not say, hey, I look at Zishan as a leader, but if I look at you and you've given up, well, I'm much more likely to give up too, because I'm okay, well, my friend Zishan, he gave up, everybody's given up. And that's the plague that we have in society right now.
Correct.
So you have to realize the opportunity to lead has never been easier because there's so few leaders. And all you have to do is live to the standard that you want, because people are going to follow.
Absolutely. And no matter how big your smaller voice is.
Totally, bro.
There's a sub question that came to my mind is, what happens if you are living completely on top of your standard? You're doing everything that you can, and you're still seeing somebody who in your company who's not doing what you would want them to propagate.
Is that with the presumption that there's other people that are?
Yes.
Okay.
So there might be
a straggler.
There might be say a team of 10 people, and you see 2 people or 3 people not doing the same thing. So one thing I want to ask you is that because the leader is not as good at educating them, or is there any other reason that you can think of?
No, there's lots of reasons, man. Sometimes people have crazy shit going on at home. Sometimes, there's all kinds of reasons, but we have to get back to the American culture of hey, man, we can't bring our therapy sessions to work. We have a job to do. We got to do the job here. And, I care about people, but I can't afford to carry everybody's mental energy all the time. I think work has become this blended thing where it's we're dealing with not just how good the job is, but we're dealing with people's personal issues or their struggles or their this or their that. And if you want to be a great leader, you have to know how to address those things properly. Sometimes when there's two people that aren't doing it, usually what the case is that one of them is a cancer and he's got the ear of the other one, and they've convinced the other one that this. So sometimes, basically, how to address that is to pull the person that you think the source of it is aside, maybe take them to lunch or take them to dinner, have a talk with them, see where they're at. And maybe it's time to go the separate ways. You know what I mean? It doesn't mean they're a bad person, but what you really want to make sure that doesn't happen is that those people corrupt the rest of the people who are doing what they can.
They degrade the culture.
Yes. So you have to, I'm sort of a like, I'm kind of like a 3 strikes and you're out kind of person. You know what I'm saying? Like a couple times you got a problem, I'll work with you as long as you've earned that credit with me we're operating on with good faith. And then, if it gets to be a problem, it becomes a solution of, hey man, I know this isn't really your thing. Let's try to help you find something where you're going to be productive. Cause like, dude, I believe that everybody can be a winner. I believe that not everybody can be a winner at everything.
Correct.
So a lot of times there's a good book by Jim Collins called Good to Great, where it talks about getting the right people in the right spots. And what I've found in business is that when you get the right people in the right spots where they're more conducive to operate, it creates a much better, less stressful product.
They shine.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely.
And it gives them self-worth too.
Absolutely.
Confidence and all that. Yeah.
Great. I love it. I gotta maintain for the listeners,
God,
I gotta maintain the same
hilarious. Hey guys, do me a favor. If you enjoyed that clip, if it made you laugh, if it made you think, if it made you have a new perspective, go over to iTunes. Check out the full-length podcast. You're going to like it.